everyone. It's Pete from Ole Man Overland. Well, the new vehicle is on its way up the driveway, I think. Let's meet this young man as he pulls up here. Hey, nice rig you got there, bud.
Thank you.
Good to see ya.
You too.
Everyone, this is Daniel from Tiny Rig Co., right?
Yep.
And he has driven all the way across the country just to see me. I mean, can you imagine? What a great experience. We're going to spend a little time together going over this rig, and then we're going to shoot him back at the airport. But first, we're going to stop down in Philly and get a cheesesteak, which everybody does when they come to Philly. So we're going to pull this over and take a look at what we got. Daniel, how are you, my friend?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming over and seeing us. What do we have to show everybody?
Yeah, so this was our show truck. We purchased this vehicle specifically to put the first Alu cabin on it. So I think you saw this truck on YouTube a few times, but essentially we debuted the Alu cabin at Overland Expo West in 2021.
Yeah, I have that video, and you know, I saw the guy who did that. I thought, man, if I could build a truck like that, that would be really cool. And now I don't have to.
Yeah, you've got the exact one.
But anyway, let's show everybody what this thing's all about.
Yeah, so essentially you have it's a 2021 Ram Power Wagon. So front and rear lockers, disconnecting front sway bar, basically a giant Jeep. And I just drove it 3,000 miles to you with adaptive cruise control and seats that have fans that cool your butt and heat your butt, and steering wheel that heats your butt. So steering wheel that doesn't heat your butt.
I was going to say,
yeah.
You must have had a different driving position there to get that steering wheel heating your butt. I don't know. People driving by probably were like, what the heck is that guy driving with?
I'll wipe everything down before I hand the keys over to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's get a little.
But fairly basic build actually from the factory. So pretty unique. Typically in the US, we're bolting on all the accessories. So if you were to go to any Alu cab shop in the country, you're going to pick out the accessories that you want, and the shop there will bolt them on for you, or you can take them and install them yourself. This one came from Alu cab actually, with the awning installed, the water tank, the bags, and then we did the electrical, the GP factor stuff on the back door, the GP fireplace, and added a propane tank mount, as well as some really nice electrical stuff. So we can start on the back door if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. And you brought the ladder, which is certainly appreciated there. I know some people sometimes use a hitch step, right?
Yep. And this, you keep your ground clearance, and honestly, it's just really easy to get in and out. We got it for the shows, and
as a 62-year-old outdoor adventurer, it should have a railing.
You've got your railing right there.
There you go. I got a railing. Thank goodness, everybody.
So yeah, so GP Factor is a company that works extremely close with Alu cab, and they make a lot of accessories based on, they own a canopy camper and wanted some stuff, so they make really, really high quality stuff. The owner AJ has a background in the firearms industry, so he's kind of taken that quality. Essentially, you've got a drop down table here, so 2 pins. The table comes down nicely, and then you have a bamboo cutting board. The really nice thing about this is the way that it's built and the hinge mechanisms, it's really, really strong. So you're not going to put too much weight on this thing and overload it. And then even the cutting board extended out this far is still pretty rigid. So extended almost, you know, we'll call it like 90% of the way, you can still do your chopping on the end. And tucks away nice and small. And when you close up at night, it's not protruding like we were talking about kind of doing the stove potentially, but this, you keep all your space.
Now let's talk about this. A lot of people have asked, you know, hey, I see how the Alu cabin locks from the back, but you can actually lock yourself in at night. And
correct.
This looks like that's what this mechanism is here. Is that
yeah,
correct?
So that's a compression latch. And that's actually the thing we get when we deliver a vehicle to a customer and they go and use the camper for the first time. That's typically the thing that we get a question on once they're out camping. So the big thing with this is it's a compression latch. So if you push it against the door gently, it's not locked all the way. So when you're going to close this up at night, pull the door all the way in and really give it some, like a snug push, and it'll lock and it'll seal really well on the inside.
Now, can you do that from the inside? Can you, I guess it's give it a good pull?
Yeah, so just, I mean, you don't have to pull the hell out of it, but if you just lean back a little bit, you'll do it all from the inside.
Okay.
And the really nice thing about the door is you can't get locked in if you close yourself in there at night. So we've got the propane in the way.
So these stay on the outside?
Correct. And so that's going to butt up against this right here. So you can't get locked in.
Perfect. And no one can lock you in.
Correct.
That's good. That would be kind of mean.
Yeah, that'd be rough. You have to go out the fire escape, which is the second story on this truck, which is tall.
So let's just take a quick peek inside here. This is phenomenal. I've been a big goose gear fan for many years. And again, when I was waiting for that Tundra, this was the big issue, is not only can I get this thing built out, but when will they have the Tundra build on the goose gear material? And now I don't have to worry about that. So this is quite spectacular. What do we have in here in terms of goose gear?
Yeah, so you have an electrical cabinet here. I really like this one because, especially in the cabins, it doesn't protrude out into the doorway like in the canopy campers. So full-size truck, you've got a lot more room. Also, the height of the Power Wagon is pretty tall, so these cubbies are massive. So you have utility cabinet midway and all the way up front. Giant drawer right there, which we love because, unless you're 6'7", you can sit on that while the bed's in place.
Look at that.
Drink your coffee in the morning while your wife's still sleeping in bed.
Very nice. I'm gonna go take that seat.
And you want to pop it up for us?
Yeah,
sure. You got a little more room?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the popping up of it is really easy. There's just 2 pins that you need to pull and some latches. And just push up. And one of the unique things about the Alucab is that all of the sleeping area, the bed and the platforms are on gas struts. Oh, whereas cool. A lot of other systems you need to move panels or tiles out of the way.
It's that easy. Wow, look at that. So just with the touch of a finger, literally, we were able to push that up.
Yeah, and you've got screens all the way around. So if it's nice out and there's no bugs, you can leave those open. I usually keep mine all the way sealed up though. And then with these guys, I tend to just pull it all the way down and then roll it up. Go a little on the zipper.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll hold it in place.
Nice and snug.
Yep.
Perfect.
So another question we get pretty common is, can you fit in the bed with this still up? And the answer is yes. So there's a gentleman that works for Goose Gear. He's 6'7" and sleeps with this up. He's actually thinking about removing it.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. And just bringing it down will just give you more floor space. But I'm guessing when we figure out this heater, having the thing up will dissipate the heat better.
Yeah, you're gonna get more. The heat's gonna rise, and you're gonna feel it up there a little better. If you go on like Expedition Portal, a couple people have added vents, deleted the cushion so that just the air, they can keep it closed and the air goes up. I'm a violent sleeper, so I'll throw my pillow down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do either or. I actually tell people that I think this is good if you've got a young kid, toddler. They can sleep sideways on here, and mom and dad can sleep this way.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, well, I like what's going on here. So let's go on the outside here.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, while we're here, let's pop open that power plant so we can show folks what that is and explain how that works. If you will.
Sure. So Goose Gear electrical cabinet, as I mentioned before, and you've got it's called Red Arc's Total Vehicle Management System. So essentially what that is you get shore power, you get DC to DC charging, meaning that when you drive, your alternator's going to charge it, and you also get solar. So that's the Manager 30 up here, and then this is the Red Vision setup. The Red Vision setup is completely fused for each circuit, so you have one place to service everything instead of a bunch of wires all over the place that you got to go find the fuse.
Where does shore power come in?
Shore power, we don't use it because the solar keeps the battery 100% topped off.
So you don't need shore power?
Maybe if you're storing the vehicle for a long period of time indoors.
And would you end up just tapping off of the terminals, or is there an input?
There's actually an input on the Manager 30 itself that you can plug it in. It's your typical computer cord.
Okay, and that'll be on the back of it?
It'll be on the sides. No, that's fixed where it is.
Okay, so you can get at it from here?
Yeah.
Okay, super. So you just access it from there. Wonderful. Well, you guys did a great job wiring this.
Yeah. So everything's labeled, so if you do need to service anything in the future, or if you're going to have OK four-wheel drive do some work to it, they'll be able to know exactly what we did. And if you're ever in a jam and something's not working, you can give us a call and I can tell you, grab this cable, and
I will plan on doing that. Now let's talk about the Red Vision panel and what does that do?
Yeah, let me walk. So I mentioned before that that Manager 30 unit is your DC-DC charger, shore power, and solar. So this screen is going to give you the ability to kind of see how those devices are doing. So it's one master switch. The lights have memory, which is awesome. So I typically will leave everything on the red, and I always tell people the light that's at the top of the tent, if you leave everything open at night without screens, make sure that's on red, because when you close everything down, you'll see a bunch of bugs up there when you're laying down.
All right, now let's get into where the food lives, because that's kind of my thing. When it's not camping, it's eating. So.
Sure, or the both, right?
Yeah.
So we have a 40% seat delete from Goose Gear. We've mounted some Atulias climbing hooks over there so we can strap it down with the nice Goose Gear fridge tie downs. And then this is a National Luna 60 liter dual zone. So you have refrigeration and freezer in one unit.
Great. And this seat delete makes it really easy because first of all, it's freed up all that space right down, flat down through here. Still leaves the tie downs in there. It's created, now the seat is back as far as it would go, or?
It's pretty far back, yeah. So in terms of, scooting it back, it's at max back, and then you can control the tilt.
Right. Super, yeah, and it's stable in here. Also, for those that don't know, Goose Gear is famous for these little pop-over lids here, and they've got those built into the seat delete as well. So if you wanted to store things in here, the last set of seat delete I actually had a friend of mine wrap this in diamond plate.
Okay.
To secure this, and then it could hold,
yes,
valuables, whatever you want.
And they do make an infill panel, so you can add the infill panel if you want to be able to access stuff. We actually, typically when we mount a fridge on it, unless you're putting something that you want to be 100% hidden, you're worried about theft, we'll leave that open because the hatch isn't very accessible with the fridge. And so now you can just kind of slide some gear in here and be able to reach and get it. And
this pretty much, I think, wraps up what we're looking at, guys. We're going to go take a ride in this thing, see how it rides. But according to my friend Daniel, he had a pleasant 3,000-mile drive, as pleasant as it can be, and the truck did perform. So we're going to go order some pizzas for some friends, and I'm going to see how this handles, and we'll be back to you.